Okay, since February, March last year, we've gone to online instruction having to do with the pandemic, COVID-19. I'm going to go over some things about the school, about our district that we have to cover. For example, the district wants us to implement a new app if and when you're ready to come back to school. Mrs. Garza, our superintendent, has been sending out surveys to see which students want to come back to in-person instruction. Do we have any questions out there? You can put them in the chat or turn on the mic. Okay, let me first show you my agenda. Okay, somebody in the chat, let me know if, hold on. It's okay. Let me know if you can see the agenda, guys, in the chat. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to go over and introduce myself. We're going to go over the Dr. Owl app, procedures for COVID-19, and thank you for the ones answering yes. Fire drill procedures, which are going to be different than what we used to. I'm going to close and I'm going to ask for any questions if you guys have, okay? Now, the other day I went to the store, and I know you guys are out and about and are working, but normally I wear a mask. And again, the proper way to wear it, like this. In a little bit, I'm going to show you the flyer on how to take it off and on, okay? What I saw was one of my students from when I used to work at Veterans have the mask down here. He was talking to somebody, and now this is not safe. And then I saw another person talking, and I was at the store talking in the aisles, and by the time, yes, I was gonna use that. It's a chin diaper. And I had another, I ran into another person who was talking in the middle of the aisle, and they were talking so much that it was almost, the mask was almost up here. And I thought, okay, in school we have to go over and how to wear the mask. And yes, I know it's funny, but when you think about it, it's kind of dangerous. And I don't mean to scare you, sorry guys. So let me go over, and that was like my introduction. That was my introduction. I'm a little bit nervous, sorry guys. But that's what I've been seeing at the stores and everywhere else. And I thought we need to protect you guys when we go back. So we're gonna start off with, let me start presenting. Okay, guys, so that was the OWL app. Anytime you're on campus, before you get to campus, you have to answer those questions. I do that every morning because since I'm TSI testing or I'm benchmark testing, or even if I go to campus, they want to know if I came into contact with anybody that has COVID-19. Now, imagine in my case, I have my daughters, my wife, we're all in school. And that's how you track, for example, if for some reason I get it, we could track and kind of warn everybody else. And that's if you're going to be on campus. Now, remember, it's up to your parents if they want to send you back. We're going to continue the online instruction for now, but it's up to your parents, okay? So that was the OWL app. Now let me present the PowerPoint. Welcome to Preparatory for Early College High School. We're going to go over the COVID-19 fire drill procedures and the Dr. OWL app. My name is Mr. Garcia. And we saw the video about the Dr. OWL app. We electronically screens everyone. It helps create the safest atmosphere for you guys. For example, if a student was in contact with somebody that had COVID, we can monitor to see if they have it or not, like through the questions and things like that. It's to keep you guys safe. Every time you come to school, you have to fill it out before you get in the bus. They're going to be taking your temperatures on the bus, and we're going to be doing it as soon as you step down from the bus or from your parents' drop-off, either they drop you off. If you're coming on campus, remember, you have to download the app and answer the questions. The school runs reports, the district runs reports to see if anybody is cross-contaminated. For example, if brothers or sisters ran into somebody at another school, and you might have it, or you just to keep track, okay? Okay, those are the steps to do the app. There's instructions in Spanish too, if your parents want to download the Spanish version. Okay. So again, you have to answer the questions as before you get on the bus, before your parents drop you off, if you're coming to campus. If you're coming to campus, you can bring some school supplies and your laptop. And we're going to provide the shields and the masks. Okay, and we have antibacterial stations, not only in the classrooms, but throughout the hallways, okay? Okay, these are some of the things our head nurse, Mr. Rolando Barrera, provided for us. You're gonna be seeing them throughout the campus. If you have fever, chills, cough, all those symptoms, you call our office before you come inside, and everybody knows the number to our school, right? Or even send us a remind. And if through the questionnaire, through the Dr. OWL app, we'll get the information too. If you're feeling sick, stay at home. Fever, cough, shortness of breath, and all of these are provided by the Centers for Disease Control, the CDC. They're the guidelines for not only businesses, for schools too. Okay, those are the symptoms: cough, fever, chills, pains like headaches, shortness of breath or difficulty breathing, sore throat, loss of smell or taste. Seek medical care immediately if someone has these signs, and it's more importantly that we know too. Okay, once at school, wash your hands. Now for the restrooms, we're going to be, some of them are sectioned off, and I'll show you pictures of this campus. It's not like before where There was a limited amount of students in the restroom. Now we're going to limit to avoid any interactions. You wash your hands, you get soap, you scrub, you rinse, and you dry them. And those are the guidelines on how to safely wear masks. You follow healthy habits. If you sneeze, make sure you do not take off your mask to sneeze. How do you stop the spread? You avoid any contact with other people. And I know that's difficult because normally in a regular school day, you might shake hands, give the farewell hug, share pencils, pens, anything like that. So just be careful, try to avoid spreading the germs, okay? Always use antibacterial, the soap or Germ-X or things like that, okay? If you sneeze, cover the cough. Cover your mouth and nose with a tissue when you sneeze or cough. If you don't have a tissue, use your elbow. And then you wash your hands after coughing or sneezing. Okay, procedures at school. You do the Dr. Al check-in before you arrive. You get a temperature check. You socially distance 6 feet apart. And I'll show you a picture of my room too. You wear the mask, you wear the face shields, you wash your hands, you apply antibacterial. Okay. Those are some of the signs you have throughout school. The temperature check. Now, if you notice the middle of the middle picture, we have tape. That is the front of the building where you get off from the bus. We have tape markers to show the distance you should be apart. And yes, I know it's very difficult when you're walking down the hallway, so we're going to ask that you guys stay one side to exit, on the other side to enter, okay? Follow the social distance guidelines for bus, for pickup, when you dismiss classes. The water fountains are covered to prevent the spread. If you want to bring water, you bring your own water bottle. And that is an example of my classroom. The desks are 6 feet apart. My desk is in the middle, and I have to rearrange it because I'm very close to some of the desks. There were about 12 desks in my classroom. And again, if you're coming into the classroom, you have to make sure you have a distance between you and the other person. There's tapes all around the building to tell you the 6 feet, okay? Even going down the covered breezeway into the 6,000 hallway, if you notice, we have the blue tapes every 6 feet. Okay, now the fire drill. You're probably wondering, how do we have fire drills when we have to socially distance? Okay, that is a map of the 6,000 hallway. In each room, the routes are already placed. There were too many routes for me to have up here. For example, the dance room would go into certain point, certain out to certain side, and everybody else too. If you're on campus and we have a fire drill, we're asking that you socially distance. I know normally fire drills, when we have the practice one, everybody goes out and you get into little groups and talk, but we still have to follow the guidelines, okay? And that's a map of the E building. My room, 131, would go towards the parking lot for the students. And we would have to socially distance once we're out there and then wait for the all clear. The procedures: you exit the classroom, you turn off the lights and close the door. You walk the route assigned, social distance, you wear your mask, face shields, and then you wait for all the clear to return and follow the same rules. Okay? In closing, okay, remember the Dr. Al app in case you're coming onto campus, so we can track. You follow social distance, and this applies even when you're out out of school because we want to stop the spread. We want to keep you guys safe. So social distance, wash your hands, wear face masks, wear face shields. Most importantly, I put it twice, wash your hands, use hand sanitizer. Any questions? I hope I didn't go too fast or scare you guys, but the main thing is we want to stay safe. So again, even if you're out at HEB, Walmart, the best way I could describe it is wear the mask. Does anybody have questions for Ms. Gorena?
Hi, everyone. All right, can you see me? And can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Hi.
Yes, we can see and hear you.
I didn't realize I was joining a senior level course, so you guys are getting ready for graduation. So I guess just maybe an announcement if you're graduating from SDC in December, make sure you're checking your email because you could be have information in there for you to pick up your diplomas. I mean, sorry, not your diplomas, your cap and gowns and your graduation regalia for the virtual graduation that they're having. So please make sure that if you are graduating in December, that you are checking your emails. And I'm glad that Mr. Garcia is presenting this information to you at this time. That OWL app is something that we are going to implement upon our full return to campus. And again, remember that on Monday, if you choose to return, we will be providing and will be following very strict COVID guidelines that include the social distancing, the masks, and minimal interaction between students. So we want everyone to stay safe. And if you have any questions, now is the time to ask about anything. I know it's been a very different start to the school year, and we're already starting the third 6 weeks. But if you do have any questions, feel free to ask. Okay, and I do continue to ask all of you to practice these procedures that Mr. Garcia has shared with you throughout your days if you come to school and also in the community as well. It's not only about keeping yourselves safe, it's about keeping those around you safe as well. So I'm hoping that everybody is doing okay. Thank you, Mr. Garcia, for presenting that information.
How would lunch work, Miss?
The lunch hour will be held in the cafeteria, and however, we will only be allowing students to sit one per table. And of course, we will not be going outside. It will be a 45-minute lunch, but you will only be allowed to sit one per table. While you are not eating, you will be required to wear your mask. And basically, that's it. We will not allow students to sit two per table or converse with one another. You know, we will maintain social distancing as much as possible. And so that is the way lunch is going to work, but it would be in the cafeteria.
You're not going to be able to go outside and sit in the picnic tables either.
Not at all. Not at all. Picnic tables will be off limits. Benches around the buildings will be off limits. You know, the morning would be a simple arrival to campus straight to the cafeteria. We're intending to have doors open as much as possible so that you do not have any contact with any door handles. And we will practice social distancing, and you will be required to wear a mask. We're also providing students with a shield. Desks in the classrooms will be 6 feet apart, and restroom breaks will be very minimal as well. Water fountains will be off limits just to avoid any type of exposure or contamination. And you will be subject to completing the OWL app questionnaire, and you will be subject to temperature check. If you exhibit any symptoms on the questionnaire, or if you were to have a fever in the morning when you are checked, you will not be allowed to stay on campus. And we continue to encourage all of you, especially as seniors, to keep up with your classes. We've seen a dip in grades And we are concerned. You remember, you need everything that's on your schedules to graduate and receive your diploma. So you need to continue to work hard regardless of how you are doing your instruction. Make sure you keep up and make sure that you do not fall behind. The last thing you want is to go ahead and be in a situation where you may not graduate, not because you're not capable of doing the work, but because you are falling behind with online instruction. There is a question from Leilani. Let's see. Lunch was being asked. Jessica Barrera, will it be mandatory at some time soon that we all go back? No. At this point, students and parents will have an option of coming to school. It is not mandatory or required. It is available for any student who wants to, but it is not mandatory, Jessica. And Sasha, what about switching classes? Yes, you will be switching classes. And again, you will be maintaining social distancing. I can inform you as a class that right now we only have about 17 students out of 300 that completed the survey that want to come to school. So we expect very low numbers. And again, switching classes, your teacher should be opening and closing doors for you so that there is no contact with you and any door handles, but you will be allowed to switch classes. Leilani's comment, I know the graduation is iffy right now, but do you think there's a chance that we'll have a graduation over at Sanchez Stadium, but seated 6 feet apart since we are not that big of a class and only parents to be allowed? Leilani, that is something that I would recommend as a principal. Hopefully by then we will be in a better situation, but there is nothing more that I would like than to give you guys as seniors that experience, and hopefully we can. When we have those kinds of discussions, that would be my recommendation, if we could do that. I know that they've already started with some football games. However, as you know, some of them have been canceled due to positive cases. And so we'd have to be extremely careful. But that is a consideration that I will take, definitely, because I think everybody deserves that experience. And although last year's graduation was not at the stadium, it was beautiful. So do keep in mind that whatever we are allowed to do or whatever we do, it would be something extremely special under the circumstances. And you're welcome, Leilani. That's a good question. Does anyone else have any questions?